been doing a lot of work with the investigating history curriculum, which is a social studies curriculum for elementary and middle school, where we are focused on inquiry. So regardless of what you teach, thinking about inquiry, thinking about the phases of inquiry, let's dive in today to thinking about how we launch an essential question or a guiding question for a set of lessons, and how we invite students to generate questions that will help answer the question. So it is hard for students to generate questions. How do we do it? I have some resources for you, so let's get to that. All right, here is our Generating Questions resource bank, which will be available for free to you in the description below. Here's what we got. Thinking about the organizing framework of GRAPES, which stands for the 6 elements of kind of a complex society. We have geography, religion, achievements, politics, economics, social structures, and we also have all on this one slide. There's a lot going on this one slide. Some starter words for kind of a category 1 question, a little bit easier question like a what, where, or a category 2 question, which is a little more involved, a how, why, that kind of thing. We also have a little bit more complex cue chart where we have students can choose a word in this column and then a word in this column to come up with their first 2 words, almost like build your own sentence starter to generate questions. So for example, how might is kind of a predictive level question, right? Or how might is really like a synthesis question. Like who will or who might is more of kind of a basic prediction question. We can offer some sentence stems here. So we kind of, if this is a little overwhelming, the cue chart, we give them here. We give some example of what those questions might be. Again, these are all on kind of different, this is all on geography, and these are all on kind of different parts of GRAPES. So feel free to use the one you want. This actually comes from an investigating history curriculum worksheet. So it kind of helps, this is for 5th grade, they help define, the questions in terms of category 1, category 2, and it gives them a worksheet. So if your students like worksheets, you can do that. Here are some slides that you could use where you just paste the question of your unit or your cluster of lessons, and then you prompt students to kind of circle a question word within the question, underline the keywords, ask 2 smaller questions, right? And there's some more here that are kind of less scaffolded. So we start with high scaffolds, a little less, a little less. And so this is like 5, 6, 7 in terms of the grades that it built out in the curriculum. I also like the idea of connecting to current events as always. So I've also added some slides here. What questions could you ask about? And then you would fill in like whatever the current event is with maybe an image or whatever. Remind them of GRAPES as a way to organize their questions. Give them the cue chart, give them some examples, sentence starters, or examples of questions. So that's all going to help you. I think the more you do this, the better students get at asking great questions around inquiry. But this will help you kind of get them started. So inquiry is awesome. It takes time. It takes some structures, some repeated practice, some modeling, opportunities to ask and come back to those questions. Once you have your questions, I would hang up the student questions and keep them up throughout the unit as an anchor chart to return to, and invite students to share what questions were really exciting and what questions they found the answers to over the course.